Paul Martin Jr., or officially Paul Edgar Philippe Martin, was born in August 1938. He served as the 21st Canadian Prime Minister from December 2003 until February 2006. Most notably, he served as the Canadian Federal Finance Minister from 1993 to 2002. He made many structural reforms to the country's federal finances and was able to balance the budget by reforming various programs, including social services. He was not only a member and actual leader of the Liberal Party, but also notable social liberal, and he favored the so-called marriage equality, in other words, legalizing the same-sex marriages, which came about in his brief prime ministership. Because of the sponsorship scandal, his government was defeated on a vote of no confidence in November 2005 that triggered the snap federal elections of January 2006, which the Liberals won, the Liberals lost, and the Conservatives won with a minority. Already in the June 2004 federal parliamentary elections, the Liberals had been reduced to a minority status. Now seen as a global diplomat, Martin continues to contribute on the international arena through a variety of initiatives such as Incentives for Global Health, the not-for-profit behind the Health Impact Fund, where he serves as a member of the advisory board. He also sits as an advisor to Canada's Eco-Fiscal Commission. He was born at Hôtel Dieu of St. Joseph Hospital in Windsor, Ontario. His father, Paul Martin Sr., was a Franco-Ontarian of Irish and French descent who served for 33 years in the Canadian House of Commons and was a cabinet minister in the Liberal governments of Mackenzie King, Louis Saint-Laurent, Lester Pearson, and Pierre Trudeau. Paul Martin Jr.'s mother, Eleanor or Nellie Alice, was of Scottish and Irish descent. He briefly attended the University of Ottawa before transferring and graduating from St. Michael's College at the University of Toronto with a BA in History and Philosophy in 1961. He then attended the University of Toronto Faculty of Law, where he received a bachelor's degree in law in 1964 and was called to the Ontario Bar in 1966. In September 1965, he married Sheila Ann Cowan, with whom he has 3 sons. He then had a business career in the board of directors of the Power Corporation, or Canada Steamship Lines. In November 1993, the newly re-elected Paul Martin was appointed to the cabinet and named Minister of Finance. He had, in 1990, opposed Jean Chrétien, but had lost to him and then had decided to support him as the Canadian Liberal Party's federal leader. While Martin's record as finance minister, balancing the budget and moving the budget to a surplus, was lauded in business and financial circles, there were undeniable costs. Some of these took the form of reduced government services affecting the operations and achievement of the mandate of federal and provincial departments. His brief prime ministership was marked by the legalization of same-sex marriages, for example, and by a significant turnover. Only half of the members of Chrétien's last government served in Paul Martin's government. And then the so-called sponsorship scandal, which probably already was partly instrumental in reducing the Liberals to a minority government status in the June 2004 election, and definitely helped to bring down the government on a vote of no confidence in November 2005, which then triggered the parliamentary elections of January the 23rd, 2006, where the Liberals went down to defeat and the Conservatives won a minority of seats. After his retirement as Prime Minister in early February 2006, he stepped down as the parliamentary leader of his... he already had stepped down as the parliamentary leader of his party. He then stepped down or resigned as the Liberal leader. He published his memoirs entitled Hell or High Water, My Life in and Out of Politics. In the 2008 federal election, he also left the parliament. He is chair of the Congo Basin Forest Fund, addressing poverty issues in a 10-nation region in Africa. Since his retirement from politics, he has been an advisor to the International Monetary Fund and to the Coalition for Dialogue on Africa. He also works with the Martin Family Initiative, which assists First Nations youth.